Hey everyone! Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you've never seen my lovely face before, my name is Abby, and today I will be doing a video about my mental health and things that have helped me in time of crisis and things that did not. So disclaimer, this is my story. This is what has and what hasn't worked for me. Not everything that that works for me will definitely work for you. And just because something doesn't work for me does not mean it will not work for you. And I am not perfect. I still struggle every day on a day-to-day basis with mental health. But I just thought, I would share this because I know sometimes the holiday season can be kind of difficult for some people. So I just thought I would come on here and make a video for you guys. So let's get started. So I thought I would just go over really quick what my story is, if you guys are new. I was sexually abused as a at the age of 5 by a family friend, and I was threatened with a knife at age 8. I spent my 8th birthday in the hospital for hallucinations of seeing my abuser. I started attempting suicide at age 8, and then I stopped until about 6th grade, and then I was spending every other week in the hospital. I started self-harming on my wrists and my stomach at age 13. I lost all feeling in my left wrist and half my stomach. I have all feeling back in my arm, but not in my stomach. I have attempted suicide 17 or more times. In January of 2014, I went to a residential treatment center for 7 months. I went back to school. I graduated. I had to go to a secondary school after graduation since I didn't have enough credits to just graduate and get my diploma. So they held on to my diploma. I went to the secondary school, which I reconnected with my childhood best friend, and within a month I was there. I fell for him, and we were dating for 2 years. I was madly in love with him. We broke up, and my life became a living hell. Actually, 1 year ago today, I just came home from the hospital from a suicide attempt because he broke up with me. I know it might be stupid, but hey. We broke up, and my life was hell. I stopped self-harming on February 13th of 2018, and I haven't had a suicide attempt in 1 year. So that's kind of like the gist of my story. That's probably the shortest time I've ever spent telling my story, which is kind of weird because normally I go really in depth, but not today. But let's get into what has worked for me. Distracting myself with huge projects, which I've been working on I call it a 2017 project because I took daily pictures every day in 2017. Plus I take a ton of pictures anyways, so I decided to put them all together on their own huge pieces of paper. And so when I'm having a really hard time, I just put all of my energy and focus in that, and it really helps. And then I also do huge projects like cleaning my room, editing videos, filming videos, stuff like that, making thumbnails, making my intros, stuff like that. And second thing, I let myself feel emotional, honestly. If I'm emotional, this is an example, if I'm emotional over the breakup with my ex, I'll watch things that are not about breakups, but they will make me sad or upset. So I will be sad or upset about other things, so I'm not focusing all my, I know if I'm at a point where I know I'm gonna be sad no matter what I do, I focus my sadness on something else. Like, for me, I get really emotional watching Supernatural because it's just, if you guys have seen it, you know why. It's just an emotional show. Everyone freaking dies over and over and over. And so I will go back sometimes and just watch some of the saddest scenes, and I'll just focus my sadness on that and not on like my breakup or anything like that, because that I mean, for some people that might not help, but for me that helps, because sometimes we all have to admit there are going to be times where you know you're not going to be happy. You're going to need to feel sad, and that's okay. What I like to do is spend time with friends and family, and sometimes you don't even have to talk about what's going on with you. Like, I took a week off of work for the anniversary of my breakup. I went over to a lot of friends' house. I didn't even talk about my breakup. I didn't really even talk about how I was feeling about it, because I just didn't. I wanted to spend time with my friends, and that helped me. And now sometimes I do know that sometimes that doesn't help, and that's fine. Take time for yourself. Like, again, I just said I took a whole week off of work because I wasn't sure how I was gonna be this week, because you know what, maybe Tuesday, which was the anniversary, what if I was emotional Tuesday? Or not emotional on Tuesday, but then Wednesday I was, and I didn't want to go into work. So I just gave myself time, and I was like, you know what? I'm allowed to feel these things, but let's not add the pressure of having a huge plan this week. Because basically I wake up, go to work, because I sleep in. I wake up, go to work, come home, go sleep. And I didn't want to add all that pressure of, like, my work and then my emotional, so I just was like, you know what, instead of calling in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and then getting in trouble, why not just prepare myself and take the whole week off? And if I don't need that whole week, la-di-da, I don't need it, that's fine. So take time for yourself, whether that's taking a day off of work, taking 2 days off, whatever. Plan things. For me, I like planning things. That really distracts me. Like, I like planning for videos, because normally I will plan out my video plan a week or a month ahead, or 2 months ahead, whatever. So I'll plan like how I'm gonna make what my videos are gonna be about. I will plan about my bedroom, like how am I gonna decorate my bedroom, because I love decorating. You can't really tell, but right there you can kind of tell. I love decorating my room, so I'll like plan that, or even plan out how I plan my future will be. Now this one is, I don't know, go to therapy, find a therapist. For me, I've found that finding a therapist who you can think of as a friend. So, like, instead of rushing into therapy, I like to now have a trial session, I call it, trial session, where because normally my sessions are about an hour long. So I knew before I wanted to get into therapy again that I wanted to do a trial session, because I wanted to make sure that this therapist wasn't going to be all like by the books and, oh, but you need to do this and you need to do that. Like, she's not going to just degrade me or like anything like that. So if you go to therapy, see if you can, like, if you're thinking about getting into therapy, see if you can do that. See if you can do a trial session and see if you like feel anything after the first session. Now, obviously, you won't be 100% trusting to tell them your entire life story, but if you like have this, you should be able to pick up on your own vibes and their vibes, and you know yourself better than anyone, and you know what you need. If you need someone who's going to be by the books, by all means, go by the books and they will tell you what you need to do. However, I'm not like that. I want to go to therapy, and you know what? Sometimes I'm having a great day and I just want to talk about how great my day is. And sometimes I want to go in and talk about frickin' Johnny Depp or Supernatural. I don't want to always talk about what's going on with me, because sometimes there's not always something going on with me. And that, like, so finding someone who's not going to be like, well, then we need to go, because you need to think of something that's wrong with you. Like, no. I want someone who's going to be my friend. Or, I mean, obviously they're my therapist, but I want them to be, like, a friend. Like, someone I can go to and not just talk about my problems to. And again, I do highly recommend seeing if you can do a trial session, because that really helped me find my therapist. Because again, you know yourself better than anyone, and you know what you need. If you need someone who's going to be by the books and telling you what to do, that's fine. That is, however, is not how I need. So, next thing, get out of the house. Whether it's going on a walk around the block or going to the store and taking a walk there. Whether it's going hiking and literally climbing freaking trees. Like, I personally like going out to fun places around my city or in just the state and going hiking and taking pictures. I love taking pictures. I love and then if it's sunny and nice, like, it feels great. So for me, getting out of the house helps. And make art, something, whether it's drawing, coloring, tracing. One of my favorites to do are making collages. I love making collages of people or things that motivate me. I did that a lot in when I was in residential treatment. Because it might be hard, you know, to think of motivators and people who care about you or who make you want to feel better. But yeah, make a collage, whether it's just writing their name, because I didn't have a ton of pictures in treatment. So I would just write down their name and be like, Grandpa, or Mom, or Heather, or, you know, write down, or use pictures of things that make you want to feel better and get better and stuff. And this last thing that helped me, again, is kind of controversial, but it is very, for some cases, it might just be very necessary. In my case, it was necessary. So get bigger help if it is necessary. Treatment might be a very scary place, and you know, your first few weeks might be pretty scary, especially if you've never been in residential treatment. And sometimes it's not gonna be, you know, 2 weeks, I'll be all better. No. I mean, if it was just gonna only take you 2 months or 2 weeks to get better, you would be in a hospital instead. So, if you can get better in 2 weeks, then go to a hospital. But if it's a long-term thing and it's been going on for a long time, I would recommend seeking treatment. I did not want to go to treatment. But if I was on the point of, if I didn't change the habits I was having, and I could not, I personally, myself and my family, we could not change my habits without more professional help. So we decided to send me to treatment. And I'm glad I did, because you know what? I was at the point of where I was gonna die if things didn't change. And so if you know if you cannot change things, like for me, cutting and attempting suicide were addictions. They were something I could not stop myself from doing. Because before I went into treatment, I was cutting 8 to 10 times a day, and I had no room on my arms for cutting, and again, I was still going into the hospital every other week. So if I didn't change, I wouldn't be alive. So if you are cutting or attempting suicide, and it is an addiction, like you have withdrawals, and even if you don't have withdrawals and you know you cannot stop it yourself, try getting treatment, because it's going to take you a long time to break that habit. I even was in treatment, like going through layers and layers of skin with just my fingernails, and I have no fingernails at all. I always chew on them. So even if I had like the shortest nails in my life, I still was determined. So I would recommend that if that is a choice for you, and if that is something. And now we're going to get into things that have not helped. And again, this is my opinion. This is the things that haven't worked for me. They might work for you perfectly, but these are things that do not work for me. First thing, probably works for a lot of people. Me personally, does not. And that is journaling. I do not like journaling because me personally, I focus on what's going on wrong in my life. Like, I focus on what's going wrong. What's making me want to journal. I've tried many types of journaling. Doing a gratitude journal, like journaling about my day. Like, no, I cannot focus on that. So the only thing that really has helped me is writing a list of good things that have happened in my life. Or say I used to do this a lot with my school psychiatrist or school psychologist. I would write down good things that have happened. Like, we met once a week, so if something happened the day after we met, I would tell her, I would write a list of things that were good, and then I would also write a list of things that were bad. And I would go over the bad things first, because those were probably the bigger things on my mind, and they would take more time. And I would read it with someone. So write a list of good things and bad things, and then share it with someone. And if you don't want to share it with anybody, that's fine. I will sit down and answer random writing prompts. Like, I have this book, I left it at work, which really sucks, but I left it at work. But it's a writing prompt. It's 300 writing prompts. Some of them are the most strange, like, if you could rename your city or region, what would you name it and why? Like, some of them are like that, and then some of them are just like, what do you like to do on a lazy day? Like, that kind of stuff. So I like doing that kind of writing. I do not like journaling. So. And these next 3 are more cutting based self-harm tricks. And I will kind of explain why they don't work for me, and all of them really are just because I used to self-harm to know that I am hurting myself. I felt like I deserved the pain I was causing myself, and I didn't need to feel the pain. Like, I didn't care about feeling the pain. I needed to physically see that I was bleeding or anything like that. And so the next 3 things are kind of related to self-harm. So there's a trick with a rubber binder, where you put a rubber binder on either your wrist or your leg or wherever you cut, and just slap it down. Now again, I did not self-harm for the pain aspect. I did it because I needed blood. I could have, but a lot of these tricks made me just want to cut more, which probably isn't good. So I don't use those tricks because they make me more upset and make the urges bigger. And so the second one is an ice cube. Again, put on your leg, your arm, wherever you want to cut. Again, made me really upset. and made me cut more. And the third one, fake blood. This one made me the most mad out of all of them because I knew it wasn't mine. And yeah. And then the next one is having people tell you how much pain you would cause if you were gone. So this has both worked and not worked for me. It really all depends on how the person, who it is coming from, and how they approach it. Like, I have had people, like my ex would make me feel like the biggest piece of crap for feeling this way. Like, if I would feel like suicidal and like I wanted to die, he would make me feel like the biggest piece of crap. And then he would say like, oh, I need you here. Like, I understand you do, but the way you're you make me feel like I am a piece of crap. But then I've also had people like my mom come to me and say, you know what? It's okay that you're feeling this way. It's okay that you might want to die today. But think of your grandpa, or think of me. Think of your brother. Like, what is he gonna do? Like, my mom would say a lot of stuff to help with not doing anything. So it really all depended on who it was coming from and how they went about it and their attitude towards it. If they were doing it and making me feel like crap, it definitely didn't work. But if they came at me and they're like, you know what? Your feelings are very valid and it is a-okay that you are feeling this way. But you know what? If you continue doing these things and you accidentally cut too deep, or you do kill yourself, like, grandpa is gonna be really sad, grandma's gonna be really sad. Like, if you, like, that for me helped, but what didn't help was saying like, why are you doing this? Like, it's your fault that this is happening. Like, why do you do this? Like, I need you here. Like, I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life and it's going to be all your fault. Like, that does not help. And I know that probably doesn't help anybody. So the next thing for me is homework from therapy. I personally hated this. Like, I stopped going to therapists and therapy because of this. Like, I want to go to therapy and talk about what's wrong with me and talk about my life and not have to come home, and because I want to leave what I talk about and the feelings I talk about, I want to leave those at the session. So say I have a therapy appointment right now. It's 11 o'clock. By 12 o'clock, I want all of those feelings left in that room when I step out the door. I don't want any of that following me to work, home, or school. None of it. I don't want I'm sorry. I just don't. What I talk about with my therapist, I want those emotions and those feelings to stay there. And this one, again, might work for some people, but for me, it doesn't. It's like pushing and shoving your problems away. Like, for me, I am a very talkative person. I need to talk about what's going on with me. Like, I need to know what's going on. Or, I need to talk about it. Like, whether it's on camera or to a therapist, a friend, whatever. But I can't keep it to myself for very long. Now, some people can hold on to things for years and years and years and be fine. I, however, I need to get things off my chest. So if I bury it for too long, when it all comes out, it gets so much worse. So yeah, but these are just a few things that have helped and haven't helped me. Again, these were my opinion. These are things that I have experienced, things that I have tried many times. So it's not like I just tried these things once and it didn't work, or it did work, like, you know. So, but I thought I would just share that with you. So something that doesn't work for me might work for you. Something that helps you, or something that doesn't work for me might work for you, and something that helps me might not work for you. But it all depends on the person. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please know that you are loved and needed. I love you. And in the description below, I will leave crisis hotlines for all around the world, because I know people watch for, probably not my channel, but people watch from all over the globe. So just know that someone loves you. I love you. Comment down below some things that helps you, whether it doesn't even have to be like huge, like self-harm. It doesn't have to be suicide time. It could just be, you know what, I'm having a bad day today, like I'm really sad today, what helps me? Like, I want to hear what you guys have to say, so comment down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.